Haha, Pooja, I'm shorter than you are. Oh no. Ride on the magic school bus. That's not what my talk's about. No, stop. All right. Can all of you see this? Yes? All of you can see this? Okay. After I count to 3, I'm going to point to you, and I want you to tell me what color it is. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That was really terrible. Let's try it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All of them. I like that. But for the sake of this conversation, we're going to say it's black. All right? So a colloquial name that we use for this color is black. But what if I told you that this to me is actually yellow? Is anyone else in here seeing this as a different color than black? Shh. Okay. So what I want to talk to you a little bit about is why exactly I see this as the color yellow. And seeing how many people are in this room, there probably are a few other people that also see this as a different color than black. I mean, I know it's black, but it's actually yellow to me. It looks more like this one, if you can see that. So as babies, we know nothing. But we are tiny perception machines. We are taking in all of the senses and building up as much information as we can and building up the world around us. And because we do this, our brains, our senses are a little crossed. Which is why if I was to, as a baby, not right now, just to clarify, if I was a baby that saw this yellow flower, and let's see, I'm staring at it, it's in my field of vision, and all of a sudden behind me, Lady Gaga starts playing, Rama, Rama, oh la la. Every time I hear that song afterwards, I probably, I might think of this flower. Maybe I think of the yellow color. Maybe I touched it, because babies touch everything. Maybe I touched it, and now it's the feel of that reminds me of either the color yellow or Lady Gaga. Maybe like babies do, I decided to... And now every time I hear Lady Gaga, I think of the taste of this flower. So these senses can crisscross. And I would like to say that all of you at some point in your infancy probably thought that this black letter was not black at all. You probably thought it was a different color too, because what we call this is synesthesia. And it's something that I have and I've lived my whole life with, and I didn't even know I was different until recently. And I've always seen black letters as certain colors. And synesthesiasts do mix up certain things. How many of you have heard of musicians seeing colors as they play music? Yeah, okay. So that's a synesthesia. That's a different type of synesthesia than the one that I have, which has to do with graphemes or letters, numbers, and names that I see with colors. And the thing about synesthesia is you usually associate these crossed perceptions, also associate with an emotion. So take, for example, my best friend in daycare, and I didn't care about names at all, but my best friend was named Trista. And I remember the first time Trista told me or wrote down her name for me, I was like totally flabbergasted. I was like, that's how you spell your name? I don't know. And Trista's name to me is always going to be Brown. Now, the cool thing I find about synesthesia is because I tie an emotion to this, it really starts when you're young. So I actually have like a huge affinity for people with T names. When I meet people with T names, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, I'm immediately like, I'm comfortable because I think of Trista. She's goofy, she's fun, she's a nerd like me. And I just think so many good things about Trista, and I also associate that with the color brown. Now, if you think about my name, Nikki, I have a preference for Nikki over Nicole, which is my given name, because for me, Nikki is teal, and I fucking love teal. And I buy so much teal that I have people all the time being like, Nikki, from head to toe, you are wearing teal. Like, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, well, fucking love teal. But Nicole is a slightly brighter green. And not that that green's bad, but I just don't like it nearly as much as I like Nikki. So I prefer the name Nikki. Now, I don't love every name. I mean, there's some names like names that start with W's that really irritate me. And the experience that I tie that back to in my childhood is Where's Waldo? Because nothing is more annoying or irritating than a guy who dresses the same as all the other people in an area and then hides among them. I think that's ridiculous. The thing about synesthesia is that we don't really have a lot of knowledge of this. We really have only found that it's linked through cross pathways and it's tied to your emotions. So as far as we know, we don't really know why I still have it, because most of you when you were babies, you've lost it. Your senses have sort of singled out into one line, but I'm betting now that you know that cross senses exist, you can kind of think back to your own experiences, and maybe we'll find that more of you are also synesthesiates. Thank you.